There is a darkness that grows not in the shadows around us, but in the shadows we create within ourselves. A single lie can feel harmless, until it becomes a chain that drags the soul into eternal night. But the cowardly, the unbelieving, the vile, and all liars, they will be consigned to the fiery lake of burning sulfur. Revelation 21:8. When the final breath slips away, truth stands alone, and no deception can shield us from the fire that awaits the unrepentant heart. Daniel Rowan lived a life that, at first glance, seemed ordinary. He worked in customer relations for a mid-sized company, spending his days answering emails, smoothing conflict, and pretending to be the calm voice of reason. He was well-spoken, charming, even persuasive. But beneath that polished exterior lay a habit that had woven itself into every corner of his life. Daniel was a chronic liar. Not the kind that lies for survival, but the kind that lies for comfort, for convenience, for attention, for control. His world was built on shifting sand stories he invented, excuses he crafted, versions of himself that never truly existed. His home reflected this false stability. Everything looked perfect. Neatly arranged, well-decorated, carefully curated. But the atmosphere was thin, like a painted backdrop hiding a collapsing stage. His routine was simple. Wake up, fabricate a reason to be late, exaggerate a story to amuse coworkers, conceal a mistake with another lie, and fall asleep rehearsing excuses for tomorrow. His worldview had twisted into something dangerous. He believed truth was optional, flexible, something he could manipulate without consequences. He had been given many chances to walk toward the light moments where honesty tugged at his sleeve. Sermons he overheard, gentle corrections from those who loved him, yet he chose deception again and again. A quiet heaviness followed him, a darkness creeping closer with each lie he told. Daniel's web of lies thickened until even he couldn't tell what was real anymore. Emotionally, he became unstable, anxious, irritable, always afraid someone would discover the truth. His friendships deteriorated. People stopped trusting him, though he pretended not to notice. His relationships cracked under the weight of misused words. Spiritually, he felt empty. Prayer became awkward. Worship felt foreign. His conscience whispered, but he drowned it with new stories, new excuses, new fabrications. 2 moments of repentance stood before him. Divine opportunities he rejected. The first came when his mother looked him in the eyes and said softly, "Daniel, I don't know who you are anymore. Please, just be honest with yourself." He felt tears rise, a confession trembling on his lips. But a lie came instead. He told her she was overreacting. The second came when he was confronted at work for misleading a client. Instead of owning the truth, he built a new lie, blaming others, manipulating emotions, twisting the situation to protect himself. His conscience screamed for him to stop. Ignore Italiano. That night, he dreamed of standing in a dark valley, surrounded by whispering shadows, awoke in fear. But by morning, he convinced himself it meant nothing. And the fall continued. One evening, Daniel found himself embroiled in a heated argument after being confronted about yet another lie he had told. Words flew sharp, desperate, frantic. His chest tightened, his throat constricted. As he tried to defend himself with another falsehood, he suddenly choked. His breath caught. His voice broke. He grasped at his throat as panic flooded his eyes. The world around him blurred. A final, strained gasp cut short, and then silence. A sudden severing between deceitful breath and eternal truth. Daniel opened his eyes to complete. Darkness, a darkness so thick it felt alive, pressing against his skin. The air was unbearably hot, filling his lungs with fire instead of breath. He staggered as flames moved around him like living winds, swirling slowly, illuminating the valley in brief. Horrifying flashes, silhouettes twisted in torment, people bent and contorted in silent agony. Hands rose from the burning earth, reaching upward, grasping for deliverance they would never touch. Muffled screams echoed beneath the surface, as if the ground itself held suffering that had no end. Daniel's heart pounded with a terror he had never known. He tried to speak, but the heat swallowed every word. A crushing loneliness fell upon Ima. Spiritual abandonment so deep it hollowed him from the inside out. Whispers brushed against his ears, echoing through the valley. Liar, deceiver. Truth ignored. Then came the voice, calm, heavy, impossibly present, yet from nowhere and everywhere at once. Daniel, you lived behind words that were not yours. He trembled. Please, someone, tell me where I am. You are where deception leads, where truth is revealed after it is too late. I didn't mean to hurt anyone. I just didn't want to face reality. You created your own reality, and now you must face the one you refuse to accept. He fell to his knees, flames flickering around him. Can I go back? Please. I'll change. I'll tell the truth. There is no return. Your choices shaped your path, and your path has brought you here. The valley pulsed with heat. The shadows writhed, and Daniel understood the unbearable truth. He had lied his way into eternal darkness. He screamed into the fiery wind, begging for one more chance. One more moment to speak truth. One more breath to undo the life he crafted from deception. He confessed his lies, one by one, but they dissolved into the burning air, unheard, unanswered. He tried to warn the living, to cry out, "Don't be like me. Don't play with truth." But the valley swallowed his voice. He sank into the heat, overwhelmed by the crushing knowledge that he had built his eternity with his own words. The greatest danger of lying is not the deception we cast over others, but the deception we cast over ourselves. Daniel believed he controlled his truth, but every lie drew him farther from God, farther from light, farther from salvation. Death comes quietly. It does not wait for us to fix what we allowed to shatter. While breath remains, there is grace, there is forgiveness, there is time to choose what is right. But eternity only reflects what we chose. If this story awakened something within you, stay with us. Let these reflections guide your heart back to truth, back to light, back to what truly matters. And prepare your spirit for the next episode. Another choice, another journey into the valley where consequences can no longer be undone.